Fast and Furious 4 starts in Dominican Republic. Dom and Letty are after a gas truck along with Han. Letty jumps on the truck and she breaks the links between the tanks while Han takes care of them. There are also these guys, Don and Tego, who try to take the other two tanks, but the truck driver opens fire and Letty gets stuck. Dom saves her at the last second. In the evening, they all meet at a party. Han tells Dom cops are sniffing looking for him and he suggests they should leave this country. Dom tells that he is the one they are looking for and he will leave. He also decides it will be safer for Letty to stay, and when she don't want to even hear about that, he leaves early in the morning while she sleeps. Meanwhile, in LA, Brian O'Connor is working as an FBI agent. He works on a Braga Cartel case. Dom moved to Panama. He gets a phone call from Mia. She tells Dom Letty has been murdered. Brian shows up at the funeral, but rather as an agent than a friend. Dom is also back watching from a distance. FBI already knows he crossed the border. Next day, Brian and his team get informed that they have 72 hours to shut down the Braga case because otherwise it will be closed by their superior due to lack of progress. Dom and Mia visit the place where Letty's car was pushed off the road and then she got killed. Dom figures there are marks of nitromethane on the road and there is only one guy in LA selling it. Next day he goes to this guy Virgil and he gives him a name, David Park. Brian and the FBI are looking for the same guy. Dom gets him first and soon they have a little reunion. Looks like Dom is still mad for what happened in the first movie, but they are both after Braga. Anyways, he leaves Park to Brian and he interrogates him. Park reveals that Braga's number 2, Ramon Campos, will hold a street race. Park gets Brian a spot in that race. Winner gets a slot in Braga's driver's team. Funny thing is that Park promised the same thing to Dom before Brian arrived. Gal Gadot is also there and it looks like she works for Braga. Park gives drivers a cute speech about commitment until Dom trashes him. Race starts and it's between Dom and Brian. The finish is basically a revenge for the quarter-mile race they had in the first movie. Brian would have won this time, but Dom plays dirty and wins. Brian is mad, but Gal Gadot is already picking names for her and Dom's babies. Her character name is Giselle. By the way, Brian arrests this Dwight guy who also works for Braga, and that way he also gets a spot in Braga's driving team as a replacement. Dom sneaks to the garage and he finds out it was probably this guy Phoenix who wrecked Letty's car. He delivers a shot glass with Braga's fingerprints and gets an assignment from Braga. They need to smuggle stuff through the border. Under the shadow of the night, they use some tunnels to avoid cameras and helicopters patrolling the border. They meet Phoenix on the other side and Dom confronts Phoenix about Letty. He admits he killed her and Dom's car blows up as he filled it with gas and pushed a lighter earlier. Shootout starts and Dom tries to deal with Phoenix, but soon cops arrive and Brian takes him out of there. Agent Penning orders O'Connor to bring in the shipment and Toretto, but Brian decides to hide the $60 million in drugs and help Dom. He got shot earlier, so Brian calls Mia to help him and I guess they still have feelings for each other. Dom finds a cell phone at Brian's stuff and turns out it belonged to Letty. That means she worked with Brian and Dom loses his shit. But Brian explains that Letty came to him to clear Dom's name in exchange for bringing down Braga because she wanted him back home. Next day, Brian shows up at the agency and convinces his supervisors to go after Braga. Dom calls Giselle and offers a trade drugs for $6 million. But Braga needs to deliver them personally. Braga agrees and shows up. At the same moment, the agency confirms his fingerprints and Stasiak orders the SWAT team to strike. But turns out, this guy Campos is not Braga. Actually, this dude was Braga right from the beginning. Shootout starts and Dom saves Giselle's life, but Braga managed to escape. O'Connor gets in trouble for that, but he still tries to convince his boss to go after Braga, as they know his identity now. Dom also is preparing to go after Braga. Mia shows up and they officially get back together with Brian. In Mexico, Brian and Dom meet with Giselle. She tells them how to find Braga. Soon they approach him at church. Dom decides to take him back to the United States. Heist begins with all Braga men being alerted about the kidnapping. Boys use the smuggling tunnels they did earlier, but Phoenix is after Brian's car and he makes it crash. Braga is okay, so he pulls him out. Brian is injured and Phoenix is about to kill him, but Dom shows up and runs him over. Soon, police arrive and arrest Dom and Braga. Then we see Dom in court and judge sentenced him to 25 years to life. While Toretto gets transported to jail, Brian, Mia, and the two Latin guys from the beginning of the film corner the bus on a highway. And that's how the film ends.